going on, guys? Board Sports Network here, and today we have a very exciting video. I've been looking forward to doing this for the past few weeks, as today we're going to go behind the scenes with the game Demo Derby Smashdown from Plaay Games. We're going to do a sort of unboxing today, see what all comes with the game. I already have this game myself. I've had it for a while, so it's not going to be a true unboxing, but we're going to go ahead and dive into the game, see what all comes with it, and then at the end we're going to have a very special announcement, so make sure you watch all the way through to see what that is. But enough talk, let's go down to the arena and go behind the scenes. So as always, whenever you get a Plaay game, it comes wrapped in this bubble wrap, very nicely packaged so it doesn't get damaged in transit. This play mat does not come with the Plaay game. This is a special play mat you can purchase from Plaay Games. You know, you got your dirt-filled arena here. You've got some sponsorship, your sponsorship wall, and then your car charts. Your showdown chart, your card chart, and skid chart that comes with the game. But this is, like I said, this does not come with the game. We are going to see what exactly comes with it as we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Light's showing up on the board, on the box a little bit, but bear with me here. So slide out sleeve with the game. So it's really nice. I will admit, this game was pretty intriguing to me. A Demolition Derby game, you don't see too many of them, but it's got my favorite colors, orange and black, so I was like, yeah, I gotta have that. I purchased this a couple Christmases ago whenever they had whenever they brought this back out for sale. So this was purchased back in 2019, and there's a note inside the box I'll show you here in a minute, but very cool artwork. You got flipped upside down car there. You got a couple cars smashing into each other here. Frame shaking, engine smoking, teeth rattling, door busting, crazy smash 'em up action. And it is. And then you've got just a little bit of a rundown of what the game is. You know, like real Demo Derby action. And Demo Derby Smashdown is fast and furious. Very simple game to pick up. Very fun game to have on your tabletop. Let's go ahead and see what comes in the box itself. Now this is a Play Now game, which the Play Now games are they're not really sports related. I mean, there's different variations, so these are kind of the, I want to say, obscure sports. Or you've also got, Play Now also has you know, Fury Hardball, Fury Football, which are different takes of baseball and football games. You got High Lie, you've got a couple role-playing type games, a presidential crisis type game. So these are just variations of different games that Play offers. But let's go ahead and go inside and see what comes with your game. So tokens wise, you got a red and black dice, as well as a bunch of orange tokens here, which I'll tell you in a moment what those represent in the game. Now, being that this was a 2019 holiday edition, you have this little note here that says, talks about the rule booklet being from the original game back in 2009, and then the contents that come with the game. The 2019 edition of the game comes with 24 driver cards, not 48 as original back in 2009, 72 junk car cards, not 48, so a bunch of different cars that you can use, 24 strategy cards instead of 12, and 9 engine install cards instead of 4. So you've got the contents of the game, the strategy cards, which we'll get into here in a moment, strategy cards for solo play, and then car bonuses. So we'll talk about what those are here in a moment. You got your instruction book. Now, a little beefier than what bowling was. This has a few more instructions, but don't let that deter you. You know, you've got your introduction here, how to set up the game, starting the game, what all the symbols mean. So an X is a symbol that represents external damage delivered to an opponent. An O is external damage done to your own car, or the car that is inflicting damage at the time. ND stands for no damage. An exclamation point is internal damage delivered to the vehicle getting hit, and then a question mark is internal damage to the car doing the hitting. And then you have targeting symbols here, which the star is the driver targets the car in his column with the least amount of external damage, and the burst is the driver targets the car in his column with the most amount of external damage. And then you have combination results. So for instance, XXO exclamation point would be two damage, external damage to the opposing car, and O is 1 external damage to your own car. An exclamation point would be internal damage to the car, and then the star symbol represents that the car with the least amount of external damage was one targeted. So it's a little bit, quite a bit to take in at first, but once you get the hang of it, once you start playing a few rounds, it really starts to become pretty easy. You have skid results that come from the skid chart, car results depicting the advantage or disadvantage of particular cars, stall results, so if a car stalls out in the arena, what happens to it. You have unusual results, showdown results, and then how to play the game. Oh, excuse me. So the way a car gets knocked out is if it accumulates 7 units of external damage, 6 units of internal damage, an engine or mechanical failure, a showdown knockout, or some type of disqualification for safety, technical, or other violations. We've got flags and restarts, and then additional options, so different ways you can play the game. We're going to do the basic option today. Some of the additional options are paybacks, sandbagging. You can play with specialty vehicles, so if you have, let's for instance say school buses, then they get extra external damage. Or if you do compact car, then some of the internal and external damage ratings are decreased. Team derbies, repairs, and then designer notes about how they kind of came up with the game and how they came up with some of their rules. So that's pretty cool. Some of the charts that come with the game. So you've got your Smashdown car chart, or your car chart, your skid chart, your showdown chart. These are all one-sided. I think originally they were double-sided and they changed that. We have rare results continued, and then unusual results. And then down here you've got a repair chart if you decide to play with the additional options. So the cars that come with the game, like I said, I've had this game for a while. I've played with it, so these do have some markings on it. Your cars will come clean, but a lot of different variations of Demolition Derby cars. 72 Gold Crown Coupe Deluxe, 77 Phoenix. You got a 61 Wayfarer sedan, so a bunch of neat different cars, junk cars that you can use during the game. A bunch of 80s, 70s, 80s, 60s types cars. You have a van here. You can play, external or extra external damage or internal damage for vans. Just a lot of different variations of cool cars out here. We'll go next to some of our driver cards that come with the game. So these are all just fictional type drivers. Now you can go on the site and purchase, I think it's Tennessee Kentucky Showdown, which is, I don't know if they're real drivers in real life or just an expansion pack you can purchase. But a bunch of different names here. You'll see the cards have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are kind of their hits, like say for Rufus Hardeman. 1 is a side swipe, 2 is star power, 3 the nick of time, 4 double smash, and these are just names of different attacks. And then we have the various symbols of the damage they cause or who they target or what may happen. So say for Rufus Hardeman, you roll a black 2, white 5. Well, that is a star power move and go to a skid result. So then you would go to the skid result card and then skid chart and see what comes out of that. So we'll go ahead and set these off to the side. Next you have a lot of your, well, these are engine and stall cards. So if a driver has engine problems, then they get this card placed on their driver, and then before their next turn you have to roll the dice, and if you roll a 1 or 6 it indicates the car has died and is out of the event, or in any other type of roll, the car is still running and the driver can take his turn. So it's just a, is his engine starting to fail? Is he still able to move it, and so forth. Then you have stall cards. This is handled the same way as an engine card. So you place this onto the driver card. And then when that driver's turn comes up, you roll a die, and if it's an odd result, the die roll, the car stays stalled, and he can't do anything. So it's pretty much like he loses his turn. And any even die roll, the driver gets the car moving again. You get to remove it and continue on with his roll. And then these are some of the strategy type cards you can play. I hardly ever play with strategy type cards because for me, I'm watching from the stand, so I just kind of see what happens. But you got Pick Off, Rampage, Intensify. You have all these other type of cards that if you play them, like say you play Double Trouble, you get to make 2 dice rolls on driver's card this turn. That's pretty cool. Like I said, I hardly ever use strategy cards in any of the games. But let's go ahead and set up just a quick 4-car demolition derby just to kind of see how the game plays out. And then after that, I will make my special announcement. So I will go ahead and get this set up, and let's do a quick 4-car demolition derby. Alright, so we got our 4 cars down on the track / arena. We're going to have Tootsie Wingles driving a 68 Crest sedan. We've got Turner Gallo with a 67 Pilgrim sedan. We have Barbie Jane Sales in a 69 Chieftain Coupe, and then Carmen Gonzalez in a 68 Gazelle. Now these cards are all meant to be wrote on and marked on and so forth. So don't be afraid to mark on these cards. I think you can actually get on playnow.com and the free stuff and download a replacement set of the cars. But as Keith stated one time, these are kind of meant to, as you keep playing and marking on them, the cards get degraded, and it kind of represents the car itself. Some of the bonus ratings of these cars, so say for the 68 Crest sedan, its bonus is add ! Question mark to driver result this turn. So if that bonus is played, once the turn is over, then you add another 2 external damage and a question mark, which is, I need a little cheat sheet here because sometimes I do get confused about the markings, but the question mark is an internally damaged driver's own car. So let's go ahead and have this quick 4-car demolition derby. So as you set up the cars, it's all just random. Typically you would have maybe 4 columns of 4 cars. You would have your drivers lined up along the top so you can easily pick them out. And then after every round, when every driver has gone, which represents 1 minute of a demolition derby, you would shuffle all the cards, mix them up, redistribute them back out, and then it's like, after a minute later, someone either attacks someone else or, targets a different car. So, it's not just these 4 always targeting each other, these 4, it's all switched up so that everyone has different targets. Let's go ahead and get Tootsie Wingles first turn here. All the cars are clean. Everyone is C-rated drivers. And as I say C-rated, that pertains to the showdown chart here, who they can attack. If you're playing like a season progression type mode, the letters, the triple A's through the E's, kind of represents their TV ratings and gives them extra abilities to win showdowns or lose showdowns. But Tootsie Wingles is going to come on out first. She gets a 3-1, so that she's got the frame shot, her frame shot attack. A 1 is an XO burst. So that is going to be, XO is she is going to deliver external damage to the opposing car, as well as cause 1 external damage to her own car. And with the burst symbol, it means that she targeted a car in the column with the most amount of external damage. Now, since everyone is clean, we're just going to roll a dice here and say 1, she attacks Turner Gallo. So Gallo is going to get an X for an external damage of his own, or on his car. Wingles is going to get an O, and so Tootsie Wingles has an O, so caused 1 point of external damage to her own car. And then Turner Gallo, since he was attacked, has 1X, so he's got 1 external damage to his car. So now Tootsie Wingles' roll is complete. Now it goes to Turner Gallo. So we'll go ahead and roll for him. 2-1, he uses his fender trim column and a 1. So he come up with an external damage, an exclamation point, and a burst. So that will be a external damage caused to a car, an exclamation point, which is an internal damage delivered to that same car, and then the burst symbol, which he targeted the column and with the most amount of external damage. So, as we're still early on, the car with the most amount of external damage is Tootsie Wingles. So that is going to be an external delivered to Tootsie Wingles, an exclamation point, which is an internal damage delivered to Tootsie Wingles. And so now Tootsie Wingles has 2 external, 1 internal. Gallo did not suffer any type of damage to his own car that round, so his round is over. And again, if a car gets 7 external damage or 6 internal damage or any other type of engine failure, disqualification, so forth, then they would be out. So now Turner Gallo's roll is over. Now we go to Barbie Jane Sales in the 69 Chieftain Coupe. 6-6. So she goes with her escape route move, and a white 6 is car. So we go to the car chart. And this is going to depict the advantage or disadvantage of a particular car may have based on the absence or presence of damage. So when a dice result comes up on the car, we go to the car chart, or the board, the car chart board that comes with the game, and we roll 1 dice. And then once we roll that 1 dice, we cross-reference the car's current amount of damage, external damage, and apply that result. And so, since Barbie Jane Sales has 0 damage, we look in the 0 damage chart. We roll a dice. It's a 4, so that is going to be an X. So that means that she delivered an external damage to any car of her choosing. Now, since I'm watching from the stands, I'm just going to go ahead and roll for it. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she delivered an external damage to Turner Gallo. And now her roll is over. We go to Carmen Gonzalez. And that is a black 4, white 5. So black 4, we go to the 4 column. White 5 is a skid result. So then we go to the skid chart down here. Or if you're just buying the game, we've got the skid chart here. So it's the same thing. We look at the driver rating. So all of them are considered C for this play. And so we go to the C column here. 3, and that is going to be an O. So she delivered a hit, but she caused external damage to her own car. So she gets 1 external damage, and now the round is over. All the cars have gone through. 1 minute of action is gone, so we are going to shuffle the cards back up and start with the 2nd minute. You just shuffle them up and then you bring them back out. So Barbie Jane Sales, Turner Gallo, Tootsie Wingles, and Carmen Gonzalez. So round 2 begins, and it's run the exact same way. So Barbie Jane Sales will start out 6-2. That is an external damage to a car of her choosing. And they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Gonzalez gets another external damage. And now it'll be Turner Gallo's turn. 6, 3. So that's an XXO burst. So Turner Gallo is going to deliver 2 external damage points to a car, suffer its own external damage against a burst, which is the car in the column with the most amount of external damage. So in this case, we have Tootsie Wingles and Carmen Gonzalez. We're going to just go ahead and roll and see who it chooses. And that'll be to Gonzalez. I just did 1, 2, or no, I did even, odd, come up odd, so we'll pick Carmen Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is going to have 2 external. Turner Gallo suffered an external of his own. So now he has got 3 external damage and Carmen Gonzalez has 4. So now it'll be Tootsie Wingle's turn. 3, 5, that'll be a skid. So he is a C driver. We go down to the skid chart. 5, and Tootsie Wingles has stalled. So now he gets a stall card on his driver card. So before his next turn, he's got to roll a dice, which is actually coming up next. Since he is actually stalled, we'll go ahead and roll and see if he gets the car unstalled. So he needs an odd die roll. On any odd die roll, the car stays stalled and he loses his turn. On an even, he gets the car moving again. So it is odd, he stays stalled and loses his turn, and we'll go to Carmen Gonzalez for a 4, 5, and that is going to be a skid result. On a C, that is an unusual result. So then we go to the unusual results chart, and 26, he gets tangled with another car and smacked by a third. So he is going to suffer 3 internal damage points, and a question mark is an internal damage points. So bad result for Carmen Gonzalez, as 3 internal and then 1 external. That is his Carmen Gonzalez's 7th external point. So now Carmen Gonzalez has been knocked out of the race. So now we are down to 3 drivers remaining. So that was the second minute of action. We will go through and reshuffle and start minute 3. It'll be Gallo, Sales, and Wingles. Wingles is stalled, but we'll go ahead and look at Gallo. 1, 6 is a car result. He has 3 external damage. So then we'll roll 4, and Gallo has stalled. So he will get a stall card. And then we move on to Bobby Jane Sales, who still has a clean car. 4, 1 is an XO burst. So that is going to be an external damage delivered, an internal or external damage of their own against the car with the most amount of external damage. That is going to be Gallo, so he gets another external. Sales gets an external of their own. So now we go to Wingles, who is stalled out right now. He rolls an odd, so he stays stalled for the 3rd minute. So right now, Sales is the only one moving around there. We'll go ahead and shuffle them up. It'll be Wingles, Sales, and Gallo again. So Wingles rolls, he gets a 4, he is now unstalled, he got the car moving. So he can go ahead and roll for his turn. 4, 1 is an XX burst. He will deliver 2 external damage points to the car with the most amount of damage, which is Gallo. And now Gallo has 6 external, so he is close to getting put out. We go to Barbie Jane Sales. Just has the 1 external damage delivered to herself. 1, 3 is an XX star. So she will deliver 2 external damage points to the car with the least amount of external damage, which will be Wingles. So Wingles now has 4 external. and we go to Turner Gallo, who is stalled. He rolls a 5, he stays stalled. So the 4th minute of action is over. Go ahead and shuffle up the cards. And we'll see next week, whenever we have 12 drivers out there, we'll see a lot more variations and a lot more fun. I just wanted to do a quick 4-car derby here, just kind of get the basics down. So Gallo is up next. He is still stalled. He rolls a 2. He becomes unstalled. He will go ahead and roll on his turn 4, 5. That's another skid chart. He is a C6. We go to the unusual results. And 53, black flag, event is stopped for inspection, driver DQ'd for tech violation. So the techs, the officials, saw something they didn't like with Gallo. They found out his tech inspection failed. Gallo is out of the race. So it's just now down to 2 drivers, Tootsie Wingles and Barbie Jane Sales. Wingles rolls a 2-6. That is a card chart result. She has 4 external damage, so we go to the 4, 3, Wingles will stall. So next will be Barbie Jane Sales, 6, 3, and that is a skid result. So we go to the skid, it is a 0, and she's a C driver. We rolled a 2, that comes up dash, so nothing happened. No result. So shuffle them back up. Sales out next. 1-1 is an X burst, and since there's only one other driver left, she delivers an external damage to Wingles. Wingles is stalled right now and still stalled. So go ahead and shuffle them up. Sales 6-5 is a skid. 1 C driver 5, and she will stall. So now both cars are starting to lose their power out there. Wingles will unstall, so they get able to take a turn. 5-3 is an O, exclamation, exclamation, star. So she will suffer another external damage, and then exclamation is an internal damage delivered to Sales. And now Wingles has 6 external, so 1 more external damage to him or her, whoever it is, and they will be out of the race, out of the derby. Sales still stalled, rolls an even, unstalls. Move forward with the turn. 3-6 is a car result. They have 1 external damage. 1 delivers an external damage to Wingles, and that is Wingles' 7th external damage. So Wingles is out. Barbie Jane Sales wins this 4-car demolition derby in I think about 6 or 7 minutes. I wasn't keeping track at the time, but as you can see, fun game. It's fun just to throw a bunch of cars out there and envision what's happening. Now, as you have more cars and as you get deeper into the game, these orange tokens come into play, and when that happens, we'll go back down to the game. Say, and I'll have to look up and try to remember. I can't remember if it's called out in a chart somewhere or what, but sometimes they lose specific attacks. So say Barbie Jane Sales, you rolled 4. She would get a token placed on her 4 column. I know it's kind of hard to see. Token placed on her 4 column. So in her next roll, if a 4 came up, say 4-2, that attack ability is taken out, is removed from her repertoire. So she would lose her turn. It would go on to the next car. Now I believe if they get 3 tokens on 1 column, I believe they're knocked out. I'll have to look into that. I believe that's an additional optional way to play the game. So we'll get into that here as we go through these videos. Next week I think we're going to do maybe a 12-car Demolition Derby with just the basic options. The week after that, we'll do a 12-car, maybe advanced options. See if we can't hit some showdown charts and just add a little more depth to the game. And then fourth week, we'll probably hold another derby. And then the fifth video, whichever comes out on Labor Day, here's where I hope you're still paying attention. So you saw me earlier in the game flash this game still in the bubble wrap. A few weeks ago, whenever I was ordering some bowling materials, Keith accidentally sent me the Demolition Derby game. Now, he contacted me beforehand and said, hey, we made a mistake. We accidentally sent the Demolition Derby game. Just keep it. So since I already had the game, I emailed him back and said, well, you know, I really don't feel comfortable receiving the game. Since I've already got it, you know, I didn't order it. It was a mistake. I'm more than happy to send it back. He emailed me back and said, why don't you just give it away? So here we go. Giveaway announcement. You can smash your way to a copy of Demolition Derby Smashdown. And here's what I'd like you to do. Down below, I'm going to post my email address, boardsportsnetwork@gmail.com. In order to enter to be eligible, send me an email with your name, your mailing address, and whatever nickname you would like to have your driver, or like your driver to have. Once I get all the entries, deadline is August 31st. Once I have everyone that sends me that information, and don't worry, I'm not going to spam you with a bunch of stuff or sell your address out to who knows where, who knows who. Send me your name, mailing address, and whatever nickname you want your driver to have by August 31st. Once that date comes, I'm going to, and it probably won't be live. I wish I could do it live, but I'm having issues right now with that. But on Labor Day, I am going to run a Demolition Derby with all of the cars. Now, depending on how many we have, it may be 1 heat, 2 heats. I don't know. Depends on how many we have. I'll figure that out once we have the number of drivers. But we are going to hold a Demolition Derby on Labor Day. And the winner of that Demolition Derby gets Demolition Derby Smashdown. So that's why I need your email address so I know who to send it out to. But anyway, guys, I'm going to be doing a Demolition Derby video every Sunday for the month of August. So be sure you like these videos, subscribe so you don't miss it. Leave a comment, let me know that you're entered. Again, though, I need your name, a mailing address, and the nickname of your driver. If you don't want to give me a nickname, that's fine, but I need your name and mailing address so if you happen to win, I know where to send the game. I didn't want people to send their emails through YouTube and all that other stuff. So make sure you send me your information, like, subscribe so you don't miss that video when it comes up. And until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching and have a great night.